So hey everyone, how are you? How many of you have actually developed a game? I don't know, but if you have developed it, you must have developed it using some kind of a game engine like Unity, Unreal Engine, Godot Engine. But what's even crazier is developing a game without a game engine. Have you ever tried it? So that's why I'm here for. Let's try it. Let's make a game without a game engine, and we're gonna make a very basic game today, and we're gonna try more experiments like this in the future, but it was just something on top of my head I wanted to do, so let's get right into it. So I have opened code blocks, and the reason I've opened code blocks is because it's a good IDE for C and C++ based languages. So I wanted to create a game without really no help at all. So the closest you can get to no help is assembly language that speaks directly to the browser. So that's gonna get a bit much crazy. So we're just going to move one step up, and we're going to use C because C is the closest kind of a high level language that we have to kind of a no help situation. All right, so let's begin. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new empty project because we don't want anything. We're going to name it as game. Sorry. So I just named it as game. So I'm just going to add a file like main.c because all of our code will go here. And once we're here, we're just going to write a very simple hash include stdio.h just because we need some kind of an input and output. That's why I'm just writing stdio.h and just the basic structure of a C program that's like int main and return 0. So this is not gonna be a graphical game. We'll be projecting on the terminal like kind of a game. So what we're gonna do here is gonna start, and before starting we should know what game we are creating. So the game we are creating today is Pong. It's like kind of one of the easiest game you can create anywhere. It's not like something like Doom or something. And in the game also, like, there are many parts to a game. There's the initial menu where you go inside the game. Someone's been scoring in Pong. You have scores and multiple other things. But what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna create a battlefield arena, and just one chance, two paddles, and whoever scores wins. I think that's a very good starting point for our experiment. So I'm just going to dive right into it. So now that we have cleared out what we want to create, let's start creating it. All right. So for beginning, we should determine what's the arena we're dealing with here. In this case, a terminal. In Windows, what used to happen was that the terminal was 80 characters long in like this shape. So from left to right was 80 characters, and from top to down it was I don't remember, it was like 15, 20 characters. So here we need to determine that how long and wide our playing field is. So I kind of already done that before, so I'm just gonna show you. What I'm gonna do is I'm simply gonna print a star, and how many times I'm gonna print the star is let's say 100. So simply I'm printing this star 100 times. So as you can see that there's still some space remaining on the right, and this is exactly 20 characters out. So it's 120 characters. So if you go 120, it kind of fills up the space. But if you go 100 and okay, second. If you go 121, it's going to fall over to the next line. So the length of the field is 120 characters. That's what we need to remember. And about the height of our field, that's way less. That's about 30 characters only. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to print 30. If you see, this is the first star, this is the last star, this is the 30th star. So to make it more clear, what we're going to do is we're going to print just print X over here. So that'll help us to understand the characters. So 29 is here, and if you scroll to the top, you can see it's like 30 lines, and it's 120 characters from left to right. So our playing field we have determined, it's around say 120 cross 30. So that was the step one of understanding and developing a Pong game on this terminal without anything. Okay, now that we have this, what would happen now is we want to draw. And what do we want to draw? We want to draw a paddle, so like two paddles, a ball in between, and the rest of the field is empty. So, but what we need to do is we have to draw every pixel at a particular instance of time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a draw function, and this would be something like a void draw. I'm not taking any arguments as such for now. It's not returning anything. But this is draw. I'm gonna define it here, and it's like for let's say this is the y, and this is 0, 30 y plus. And now we have to go to each of the characters on each line. So that's 120. That's x plus plus, and we have to print. So let's not print anything. Just print a blank space. And at this point in time, when you're at the end of the line, it's gonna go to the new line. So what will happen is we'll have a complete empty field now. And if you were to print something like a star, this would cover the complete field. So that's the 30th line that you're seeing here. Now, what we need to do is we're going to need to do it infinitely until the time when the game ends. So I'm simply going to write a while one over here. One stands for true in C terms. So this is going to infinitely draw this empty field. And if you can just see the cursor over here, we're just drawing this field again and again. It's not even taking any inputs, so that we're gonna have to figure out how to give it the inputs when it's drawing. Alright, and one more thing. So let's say this is our field. We're drawing the screen, and then again we're drawing a new screen, and then again a new screen, again a new screen. So that's what we do not want to do. We want just one screen that's getting refreshed each time when something changes, something doesn't change. That is something we have to do. So how do we do that? We have to shift our cursor to the top left position. And how to do that is there's a simple command that comes in here. I don't remember the command. I had to Google it. I'm just going to Google it real quick. That does it. So \033 would mean that, hey, put this cursor on this particular position in the terminal. So we have to put it basically at 0, 0. So %d are the arguments. That's the width and height. So that's the x coordinate. That's the, actually in graphical programming, if you would have seen graphics.h or even in windows.h. So x goes like this and the y goes like this. So, but we're not following that convention over here. We're just using a normal graph convention over here. But in graphics, it really goes like this. So at every time when we draw, like before we draw, we are just putting cursor back on the top. So now when we press F9, it's not really like okay, it's not working. So it should
one debugging session later.
Oh, but we don't need to print the new line over here. But yeah, now there is no scrolling. We can just put this off. Yes. And there you go. More eyes. And yeah, now we have a field that's ready to refresh. And what we want to do is we want to put one paddle on the left, one paddle on the right, and a ball in between. And now in draw, you'd have to give the position of your paddles and the ball. So like, I'm not gonna do it right away. I'm just gonna print it for just the sake of showing you the field. So instead of space, if I don't even need to do this, if we're gonna print a star, else we're gonna print space. So here we want to do is we want to see that there are x and y coordinates. So if SB, we're just going to give it the x and y. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a temporary method SB. I have an int, and I have another int. And here I'm gonna have int c with indent. Now this is gonna tell me if I should print a star or should print space. Now if x equal to 0 or x equal to 119. That means if you're on the either of the edges, and now if y equal to 0 or y 1, 2, y 3, y 4, we have to return 1. These are the paddles. And the next thing, if to 60, or let's say 59, and y equal to 2, return 1, return 2. So I'm just gonna print up like two paddles, one on each side in the top, and wall in between is like 1 cross 1 pixel. Our paddles are 1 cross 5 pixels. Like it's 5 pixels long because our field is 30 pixels long. I think 5 pixel long paddles should do. And now when we run it, there. So as you can see, we have these two paddles. So I think we should take a break here. Like this is a good stopping point. Now what we have to do here is we have to define the entities of the paddles. We have to assign controls to the paddles for them to move. And then we have to assign some kind of control and speed to the ball, like if it is coming from this particular angle, where does it reflect, where does it go, does it go downwards, does it go upwards, where does it go next? So I'm gonna stop at this point and we're gonna continue further in the next video. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe for episode 2 and more episodes and more content like this. And please ask other people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If there's any other kind of experiments you want to see. So just let me know. Signing off. Bye bye.